My name is Mike McCormack. I work with Downeast Energy. We're an energy provider covering southern Maine and New Hampshire.
So, Mike, how did you learn about priority learning?
Well, actually, several years ago, our training and development officer contacted Priority Learning. And I must say there was a significant degree of skepticism within our company, particularly at the senior leadership level, because we had an experience with a consultant before that didn't go all that well. I guess let's just leave it at that. The agenda was very much driven by the consultant, and oftentimes leaving at 4:30 or 5 in the afternoon, a number of us felt like we had just left high school.
So, getting involved with priority learning then, did you have any preconceived notions or some apprehensiveness going into it?
Well, I'm skeptical. I grew up in the city, so I'm skeptical by nature, and the notion of bringing in someone from the outside, I must say, at the very early stages, I questioned: is there a cause and effect? Is there a way to truly define return on investment? Within a session or two, it was interesting to see how our frontline people, the folks who really make our company work, reacted to their role. Awesome. Absolutely. You know, what I would tell any company that is considering a consultant, and I'm hesitant to use that word because our experience with priority learning in the last 8 years, and I think our frontline folks would validate that. They're part of our company. Okay, so with that as a background, I would tell any company who was reading about what's in vogue today, and what I'm talking about is the significance of increasing alignment, making sure that all of your people are marching to the same drum and have a purpose, and the notion of decreasing fear. You know, are your employees worried about making mistakes, and do they get it, the challenges of business today? And on and on and on. If you're truly looking to accomplish those two things, it's hard work, and it's going to cost a couple of bucks, okay? We have had a phenomenal experience with priority learning, accomplishing both, and in fact, to watch our frontline folks come through training and come back to our locations. In many instances, it was interesting to watch how they would draw some of the mid and senior level managers into the picture, and that was one of my aha moments. We talked about that earlier. To watch folks come back, drivers, techs, customer service people coming back to their locations, emailing me, calling me with questions, not to get brownie points, but they really wanted to be part of the challenge. Overnight, the handful of managers, senior level people that might be described as obstinate, might be described as skeptical, just simply went away because they quickly realized that they were the people that were out of step. It was interesting.
What would you tell others that were interested in some outside help or possibly priority learning?
Sure.
Sure. Showing that interest, what would you tell them?
I would tell anybody who is considering a consultant, and in this case, hopefully priority learning, to do a little homework and call a few of the clients at priority learning. I think that's number one. I would also tell anybody who's considering priority learning, who's wondering about the return on investment with respect to what it would cost, the return will be tenfold or more. And I say that with a high degree of certainty because I've been through the process that we did with priority. There's as much pre-game strategy as there is in the execution. At no point did priority dictate the agenda, nor did we feel uncomfortable. One of the neatest experiences that I think really would typify priority in terms of why I think they'd be a great company is a story that occurred 2 or 3 years ago when we were trying to shake it up a little bit. Our industry, like most industries, was going through some challenges. And we knew that if we could engage our employees so that they would see what we saw, quite frankly, lift the kimono, show them who's behind the curtain through data and through experience, that we would be a better company. So we piloted the notion of joint facilitation. And for 2 or 3 years, either Ralph or Craig would facilitate training sessions, I think 25 to 30. And I was the other guy. They let me come in the room for a few days. So we brought the expertise of a consultant, and we married that with the industry challenges. So we had real term issues to deal with, and it was overwhelmingly successful. The part that I thought was kind of neat is that oftentimes Ralph and or Craig might not speak, more than 45 to 50% of the time, but the outcome was there. So the fact that priority is outcome based and not certainly looking to justify their existence was pretty neat. You mentioned earlier what my aha moment was, meaning what stood out in terms of, boy, this is pretty cool. We talked about getting a return on this. If I can just circle that issue, we had quite a bit of skepticism in the management and leadership level that continued for a period of time. Meanwhile, our frontline folks, the people that we care about, the people that talk to our customers, embraced it, enjoyed it, looked forward to it. And to be in meetings at the senior leadership level when we're talking about, okay, so what are we getting in return? To watch the doubting Toms drop off one at a time, because it became clear to them that they were the people in the band that were out of step. That, in fact, if you want to define success with respect to priority and consulting, what are the people who are the most important? Think about it. Okay? And those are you, in our case, that's drivers, techs, customer service people. They were in. They were in early. And that was a pretty cool thing.
So what was one thing that you took away from priority learning that you use in your daily life? Just something that is permeated through to your everyday kind of routines.
Sure. Well, I'm optimistic by nature. I'm a glasses half full guy. But when you're around Ralph and Craig, you realize that there's another level of optimism and another level of glasses half full. But it's a genuine delivery. I've learned the significance of being optimistic, being candid. We've talked about the significance of communicating, and I guess if I could use an analogy with respect to sports, oftentimes you see an athlete and they make it look so simple. You watch a golfer and the swing is so effortless, but you try it and geez, it doesn't work. Our experience of priority learning wasn't clunky; it was effortless. Okay, and I would suggest that is because of the fact that Ralph and Craig and his team are professionals at what they do and get it. Okay, that was pretty cool.